once again, I'm sitting here reading this stuff online, and I just can't believe this. It's like you're getting what you want. Why are you still complaining? And my favorite saying now is, and I'm not kidding, I see this everywhere, especially from the folks who've been sitting on the other side of the fence, mooing like a bunch of crazy, crazed, cows with mad cow disease, about how, you know, the show's so bad, it's horrible, it's all Chibnall's fault. The writing all stunk and blah blah. When meanwhile, Chibnall didn't write everything that happened since 2017. You've had a lot of great stories between here, and then, yet they don't want to acknowledge it. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, for you folks who've been keeping track, today is the 58th birthday of Doctor Who, and if you haven't been watching, the angels have the Doctor. Okay, and it's kind of weird how we went from the angels have the phone box to the angels have the TARDIS to the angels have the Doctor. And it's, they keep looking at the wrong numbers. Doctor Who is still scoring like over a third of the viewing audience every week on a Sunday. And it's like they've been in the top 5 most watched programs for the last few weeks. Yet, only so many million people are watching it, because they're picking that number because it fits with the agenda. The number we usually get for ratings is just the number of people who've tuned in live at the time it airs on Sunday evening in the UK. They never touch on the international streaming figures because those are still up there. They never touch on anything else because it doesn't fit the agenda. One of my favorite sayings that's out there now, and I'm not kidding, these guys are literally like a bunch of crazed cats trying to bury the shit they've been saying in a litter box. For all the crap they've been spewing, they're trying to bury it now like sand and under sand in a litter box. Well, it's like, my favorite one is, well, Jodie's a great actress, but she was failed by the bad writing. Really? Have you been watching the same program I've been watching for the last few weeks? For the last few years? Plus, one of the big things a lot of the naysayers were expecting to be done in this series was they were going to somehow, revert or unwrite the whole Timeless Child story arc. And I'm like, and also it's the same thing I keep hearing about the upcoming RTD thing. They expect RTD's first episode to be titled The Undoing of the Timeless Children or something like that, the retconning of the previous timeline. It's not going to happen. Chibs and RTD have been friends for years. They're both old school fans. He's not going to do what Moffat did when Moffat, put Gallifrey back on the map. And that, kind of ticked RTD off because he wanted the Doctor to be on his or her own. Unanswerable to anyone, because that puts you in an even bigger moral dilemma, because then who watches the Watchers? Yeah, Ian Levine, he's been flip-flopping so much it's not even funny. First he goes on and says the show's dead. I'm glad you brought that name up. Then he loves Fugitive of the Judoon, which in a way was a precursor to the Timeless Children. And then he's back on the show's dead routine. Meanwhile, they're all screaming this, that, these, and those. We've already got a centenary special added. We now have a 60th anniversary confirmed, which was something we didn't have. And now we've also got a Series 14 confirmed that's going to be co-produced by a major studio. Yet this is a failure of a show. If it's such a failure of a show, then why is everybody investing this much time into it? And I die laughing because they're like, well, RTD and Julie Gardner are coming in to fix all of her Chibnall's mistakes. They're not going to touch a thing. Do I think he told them that? I don't know. Maybe I don't think it was, because I think it was just his decision, because I think he saw the same point. Oh no, 2023 is going to be your 60th anniversary year. The word is they're going to lead in with some specials At least that's what I'm hearing from one of the rumor boxes or one of my sources, that RTD's first works are going to be a couple specials along with the 60th anniversary that's going to lead you into Series 14. So far I've got to know, I love how everybody's like, I have the entire plan for Series 14. No, you don't. All that stuff is still behind closed doors on locked servers, protected in a room, surrounded by guardian robots, with a big sign that says "Beware of the leopard," as as Douglas Adams would say. It's not in the public purview in any way. I think it'd be funny if he did expand it even more. Yeah, I caught that bit there. All I'm saying is this, kids. The show's doing incredibly well. People are loving the current story arc. The writing for the last, the first 4 episodes of Flux have knocked all these guys out there who've been naysaying since Jodie took over and Chibnall took over into a big flummox. It's, they can't answer for it. So now they're going to say, well, this number is not as high. Yeah, but they don't pay attention to the numbers that matter. They only take the numbers, that fit their agenda. Or as Tom Baker put it in this one episode, the one thing about the amazingly powerful and the amazingly stupid is they don't change their views to fit the facts. They change their facts to fit their views. And that's exactly what's been going on some of these channels for the last few years. I looked at Jodie's a great actress. I think she was let down by the poor writing. Bull pucky. I'm sorry, but all these guys who are now suddenly saying Jodie's great and all that, when meanwhile they were lambasting her and screaming like, howler monkeys in the zoo. So ever since she's been, brought in, it's like you're just showing me how much fair weather fans you are. That you're showing me what your real feelings were. You never wanted a female doctor, even though you'll sit there in public. And like they said in the one movie, deep down in that place you don't talk about in parties, you were never going to tolerate a female doctor. And now all of a sudden they're coming out and showing their true colors now that the year is almost over. But you see, at this point, complaining about the writing, complaining about all this, Series 14's already in the bag. The 60th anniversary is already in the bag. The specials next year are already in the bag. So at this point, you're basically like a strung-out sports fan betting against an instant replay. Jodie and Chibnall finished their duties pretty much for the most part October 13th when the show wrapped. So throwing these fits about it now, it's like you're screaming at something that's already done. It's already in the can. Oh, well, I got to get going, folks. I got to run into work. So I thought I'd just touch on, the usual same stuff. Have a good morning, y'all.